Hey guys, welcome back to the Preset VIZE channel. So in today's video we're remaking Don't Forget My Love, which is Diplo's new banger with Miguel. But today of course we're just doing the verses and the builds, and if you come back here on Friday you'll see us do the chorus. Okay, so we're in FL Studio now, and one of the really distinctive features of this song is the electric guitar, and I managed to extract a pretty clean version of the electric guitar sound on its own, so that's always a nice little bonus for these remakes. So we're just going to throw that in here with the vocal. But let's jump into the first element that we're going to do in this production. So we're going to start with the piano sound, which is obviously the first thing we hear in this song, and as you can see we've got some quite intricate MIDI, but also you'll see that these notes aren't perfectly quantized. I've kind of given them random little movements here and there, and then also on the velocity as well, just so you get more of like an organic piano sound. In FL you could do this really easy if you just click Alt-R, it gives you like a randomized kind of thing, and straight away it just goes from sounding really digital to like a real piano. So I'm using FL keys for the first layer, and this is just the basic settings I've got on here, and then I'm also layering that up with this direct wave instrument bank here. So this is just a sample library of a grand piano, and it sounds really clean. Alright, so the two sounds together sound like this. Let's quickly look into the processing now on here. So we've got the Opticom XLA, which is a really nice compressor. If you've got a piano sound where there's maybe like more voices in certain chords, this will just kind of smooth everything out and level it all a bit more. So really heavy compression there, doing about 7 dB reductions. And then we've got some OTT just to crispen up the top ends, just give a bit more presence to the high end, so it kind of cuts through a bit more in the mix. So now if we quickly move on to the build section here with the piano sounds, what I've done is just chop it really like kind of staccatoed. I'm basically just following the chords and the kind of riff that they're using in this build section. And then we're slowly opening that up with a Love Filter Mod X envelope. So basically just a low pass opening up. So now the next sound is the strings that are being held throughout the whole song. So it's like a droney pad kind of string layer. And we're playing an A note here, which sounds like this. So this is a Serum preset you can get in Car Music Vol.2. It's called Rising String. We've then got some volume automation to cut that string sound completely dry on the pre-chorus here. So next up we've got this shaker kind of hi-hat sound, which I've just dragged in from a loop in Fish in the Lake Vol.2. And then as we move along the production here, we've got some bass introduced, and this is like a Reese bass, so more of like a low pad kind of sound. With the preset called Reese I Don't, it's from Car Music Vol.4, and I've just kind of shaped the cut off a bit more so it was a bit more under the mix rather than being like a really aggressive kind of. And then here we just repeat it in this build section again. Also this chord here on the piano is just a repeated chord, so everything just kind of gets held on that first note. So now we're starting to introduce some more drums, and I'm going to start with the kick that's in the verse here. So a really important part of these drums is all done in the processing, on the bus processing, and we'll go through that in a minute. This is the kick, it's from Piano House Vol.1. We've now got some bongo sounds which I've just thrown in from Synthpop Vol.1. And then some more bongos just to spice it up a bit more. So that's just me trying to follow what is probably a loop in the original song, just trying to like follow it as close as possible. So it could be incorrect, but this is kind of what we have so far. So like I touched on a minute ago, most of the processing is happening in the bus. In fact, I don't think there's any processing going on the verse kick or bongos. So it's all just happening in the bus. And to start this, we've got an EQ which really sounds like a radio kind of preset, or like an old phone preset. So what I did is I just grabbed this radio preset here and kind of shaped it a bit more. So what you get is like a really thin sounding drum bus essentially. Alright, so now we've got some more drums, and I've thrown in these ride sounds which you can get in Synthpop Vol.1. And then we've also got some snares which I've decided to do in a piano roll just because you can control things a bit easier. Velocity automation for example. I think that's all we've got. There's no cut-off automation. So it really is quite a dynamic snare build. It goes from really quiet to loud. All right, and then finally we've got a Car Music Vol.4 sweep, which is just a white noise sweep. So that's all of the elements so far, I think, for this verse and build section. If you guys want to see the chorus, you'll have to come back on Friday, so make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell notification as well, you won't miss that. But thank you very much for watching, and without any further ado, let's go and listen back to what we did today.